Welcome to Golden Years Balance, a sanctuary for exploring the multifaceted world of health, psychology, and wellness in later life. Today, we're broaching a sensitive subject often whispered but rarely discussed openly: the growing emotional distance some women experience with their husbands as they age. This isn't simply about a dip in romantic passion. It's a complex interplay of unmet emotional needs, evolving life perspectives, and the challenging navigation of individual identity within a long-term partnership. We'll explore the potential impact of hormonal changes, differing retirement experiences, and the shifting dynamics of caregiving. Join us as we share real-life stories, offer practical advice, and provide heartfelt reflections designed to illuminate the path towards renewed connection and understanding in mature relationships. Let's work together to transform how we understand and nurture love in the golden years. The first reason: the emotional labor becomes too heavy. The unseen burden on aging marriages. For decades, many women carry the lion's share of emotional labor within a marriage. A constant, often invisible stream of tasks and responsibilities that bind families together and maintain the smooth functioning of a household. This isn't just about remembering birthdays and anniversaries, though those certainly play a part. It's a much deeper and more pervasive undertaking, encompassing everything from managing family events and social calendars to navigating the emotional landscapes of children and even often their husbands. It includes anticipating needs before they're voiced, mediating conflicts, offering comfort and support, and generally acting as the emotional barometer of the family unit. This invisible work, often performed without acknowledgement or appreciation, accumulates over years, becoming a heavy burden that can significantly erode affection and create a growing chasm of resentment between partners. Consider Mary, a vibrant woman who, after 30 years of marriage, found herself feeling increasingly distant from her husband, Tom. Looking back, she realized she had been the emotional glue holding their family together. She was the one who remembered every school event, organized family vacations, coordinated holiday gatherings, and kept track of everyone's birthdays and special occasions. She was the one who listened to her children's anxieties, offered a shoulder to cry on, and mediated sibling squabbles. And perhaps most significantly, she was the one who managed Tom's emotional world as well, anticipating his moods, smoothing over his frustrations, and generally ensuring that the emotional climate in their home remained stable and harmonious. Tom, on the other hand, remained largely unaware of the sheer volume of emotional work Mary was performing. He appreciated the smooth running of their household and the happy family atmosphere, but he never truly understood the effort it took to create and maintain it. He saw Mary as naturally nurturing and organised, failing to recognise that these qualities required constant effort and attention. He simply assumed things would continue as they always had, oblivious to the growing resentment simmering beneath the surface. Mary's story is not unique. Many women find themselves in similar situations, shouldering the emotional responsibilities of their families while their partners remain largely unaware of the burden they carry. This imbalance in emotional labour can lead to a variety of negative consequences, including 1. Resentment and bitterness. As the emotional labour accumulates, women may begin to feel taken for granted and unappreciated. The constant giving without receiving adequate recognition or support can lead to resentment and bitterness, eroding feelings of love and affection. They may feel like they are constantly giving while their partners are only receiving. 2. Emotional exhaustion. Managing the emotional needs of a family can be incredibly draining. Women who carry the bulk of this responsibility may experience emotional exhaustion, feeling depleted and unable to cope with the demands of their lives. This can manifest as fatigue, irritability, and a general lack of motivation. 3. Decreased intimacy and connection. The growing resentment and emotional exhaustion can create a significant barrier to intimacy and connection. Women may feel less inclined to engage with their partners emotionally, leading to a sense of distance and disconnection. The emotional chasm widens, making it difficult to bridge the gap and rekindle feelings of closeness. 4. Physical health problems. Chronic stress and emotional exhaustion can take a toll on physical health, increasing the risk of developing a variety of health problems, including heart disease, depression, and anxiety. The constant pressure of managing everyone's emotions can lead to a buildup of stress hormones, negatively impacting overall well-being. 5. Feelings of isolation and loneliness. Despite being surrounded by family, women who carry the emotional burden may feel isolated and lonely. They may feel like no one truly understands the challenges they face or the effort they put into maintaining the emotional well-being of their families. This sense of isolation can further exacerbate feelings of resentment and unhappiness. The challenge lies in making this invisible labor visible. It requires open and honest communication between partners, a willingness to acknowledge the imbalance, and a commitment to sharing the emotional load. Men need to understand the depth and breadth of the emotional work their partners are doing, and women need to be assertive about their needs for support and appreciation. It's not about blaming or shaming, but about fostering mutual understanding and creating a more equitable distribution of emotional labor. Only then can couples hope to rebuild intimacy, rekindle affection, and create a more balanced and fulfilling relationship in the later years of their marriage. This requires a conscious effort from both partners to recognize, appreciate, and redistribute the emotional work that sustains a family. The second reason, lack of meaningful communication. The slow fade of connection. In the heady early days of a relationship, conversations are vibrant and brimming with curiosity. Partners eagerly share their thoughts, dreams, and experiences, building a deep understanding of one another and forging a strong emotional bond. These dialogues, often stretching late into the night, are the lifeblood of a burgeoning romance, fostering intimacy and connection. However, as years pass and routines settle in, these meaningful exchanges can gradually fade, replaced by superficial interactions and logistical discussions. This decline in meaningful communication can erode emotional intimacy, leaving partners feeling unheard, unseen, and increasingly disconnected. Consider Susan and John, a couple who, after 25 years of marriage, found themselves drifting apart. They once enjoyed hours of intimate conversations, sharing their hopes, fears, and dreams. They talked about everything and nothing, reveling in the simple pleasure of each other's company. But over time, their communication dwindled. Their conversations became primarily functional, revolving around household chores, children's schedules, and other logistical matters. The deep, meaningful exchanges that had once defined their relationship were replaced by brief, perfunctory interactions. They had, without realizing it, slipped into a pattern of parallel living, sharing the same space, but not truly connecting. Susan longed for the days when she and John would talk for hours, exploring their inner worlds and sharing their vulnerabilities. She missed the feeling of being truly heard and understood. Now their conversations felt shallow and unsatisfying, leaving her feeling emotionally empty. John, too, felt a growing sense of disconnection. He missed the easy camaraderie they once shared and the feeling of being truly known by Susan. He noticed they rarely talked about anything of substance anymore, their interactions limited to practicalities and daily routines. Susan and John's experience is a common one. Many couples find that as the years pass, the spark of meaningful communication fades, leaving them feeling emotionally distant. This decline often happens gradually, so subtly that couples may not even realize it's occurring until the emotional chasm has grown significantly. Several factors contribute to this erosion of communication. 1. Routine and familiarity. As relationships mature, routines become established, and the novelty of getting to know each other wears off. Couples may feel like they already know everything about their partner, leading to a decrease in curiosity and a reluctance to engage in deeper conversations. The excitement of discovery is replaced by the comfort of familiarity, but this can also lead to complacency in communication. 2. Busyness and stress. The pressures of work, family, and daily life can leave little time or energy for meaningful conversations. Couples may feel overwhelmed and exhausted, making it difficult to prioritize communication. They may resort to quick, surface-level exchanges, neglecting the deeper emotional connection that comes from more substantial dialogue. 3. Assumptions and misunderstandings. Over time, couples may fall into the trap of making assumptions about their partner's thoughts and feelings. They may believe they already know what their partner is going to say. leading them to tune out or interrupt. This can lead to misunderstandings and hurt feelings, further hindering communication. 4. Lack of communication skills. Some couples may simply lack the skills to communicate effectively. They may struggle to express their emotions in a healthy way or may avoid difficult conversations altogether. This can create a cycle of avoidance and disconnection, making it increasingly difficult to address important issues. Emotional withdrawal. One or both partners may withdraw emotionally, creating a barrier to communication. This withdrawal may be a conscious or unconscious response to conflict, stress, or unmet needs. It can manifest as silence, avoidance, or a general lack of engagement in the relationship. The consequences of poor communication can be significant. Without meaningful exchanges, emotional intimacy dwindles, leaving partners feeling unheard, unseen, and unappreciated. This can lead to feelings of loneliness, resentment, and even infidelity. The connection that once bound the couple together weakens, making it difficult to navigate challenges and maintain a loving relationship. Rebuilding meaningful communication requires conscious effort and a willingness from both partners to engage in open and honest dialogue. It involves prioritizing communication, making time for regular conversations, even if it's just for a few minutes each day, can make a significant difference. Setting aside dedicated time for connection can help couples prioritize their relationship and ensure that communication doesn't fall by the wayside. Active listening. Paying attention to what your partner is saying, both verbally and non-verbally, is crucial. Active listening involves putting aside distractions, making eye contact, and reflecting back what you've heard to ensure understanding. Expressing emotions. Learning to express your emotions in a healthy and constructive way is essential for building intimacy. This involves being honest about your feelings without blaming or criticizing your partner. Asking open-ended questions, moving beyond superficial questions and delving into deeper inquiries can facilitate meaningful conversations. Open-ended questions encourage your partner to share their thoughts and feelings, fostering a deeper understanding of one another. Being vulnerable. Sharing your vulnerabilities with your partner can create a deeper sense of connection and trust. Allowing yourself to be seen and known by your partner is essential for building emotional intimacy. Re-establishing meaningful communication is not always easy, especially after years of disconnection. It may require patience, persistence, and a willingness to be vulnerable. However, the rewards of improved communication are immeasurable, leading to increased intimacy, stronger connection, and a more fulfilling relationship. The third reason, the burden of housework never ends, a retirement disparity. The dream of retirement often paints a picture of leisure, relaxation, and newfound freedom. For many women, however, this idyllic vision can clash sharply with the reality of continued domestic responsibilities. Household chores, a frequent source of contention throughout married life, often remain a significant burden even after retirement, with women frequently finding themselves still handling the lion's share of domestic tasks. This persistent imbalance can breed frustration, resentment, and a deep sense of discontent, undermining the very peace and tranquility retirement is supposed to bring. Consider Linda, who after decades of balancing work and family, eagerly anticipated her retirement. She envisioned leisurely days filled with travel, hobbies, and quality time with her husband Tom. Instead, she found herself trapped in a seemingly endless cycle of housework, managing the same chores she had always handled, with little support from Tom. While he enjoyed his newfound freedom, pursuing his own interests and relaxing at his leisure, Linda felt like her second shift had simply shifted locations from the workplace to the home. The dream of a shared, relaxed retirement remained just that, a dream. Linda's experience is far from unique. Many women find that retirement doesn't liberate them from the burden of housework, it merely relocates it. The expectation, often unspoken, that women are primarily responsible for domestic duties persists, even when the demands of a formal career have subsided. This can lead to a profound sense of disappointment and disillusionment, as the anticipated freedom of retirement is replaced by the familiar grind of household management. Several factors contribute to this persistent imbalance in housework during retirement. 1. Gender roles and societal expectations. Deeply ingrained societal expectations often dictate that women are the primary caregivers and homemakers. These roles, established early in life, can be difficult to shed, even when circumstances change. Even in retirement, these traditional gender roles can influence how couples divide household labor. 2. Habits and routines. Decades of performing specific household tasks can create deeply ingrained habits and routines. Women may find it difficult to relinquish these responsibilities even if their husbands are willing to help. Similarly, men may be accustomed to their wives handling domestic chores and may not recognize the need to change established patterns. 3. Unequal division of labor throughout married life. If the division of household labor was unequal during the working years, it's unlikely to magically become equitable in retirement. The established patterns of responsibility are likely to continue unless there is a conscious and concerted effort to redistribute the workload. 4. Differing perceptions of clean and organized. Couples may have different standards of cleanliness and organization. One partner may be more particular about household tidiness, leading them to take on more chores to ensure things are done to their satisfaction. This can create a dynamic where one partner feels overburdened while the other remains unaware of the imbalance. 5. Lack of communication and negotiation. Often the division of household labor is never explicitly discussed or negotiated. Couples may simply fall into patterns based on traditional gender roles or unspoken assumptions. This lack of open communication can lead to resentment and frustration, particularly when one partner feels they are carrying a disproportionate share of the workload. The consequences of this unequal distribution of housework in retirement can be significant. Resentment and marital conflict. The feeling of being overburdened and unappreciated can lead to resentment and bitterness, fueling marital conflict. Women may feel like their contributions are being taken for granted, while men may be oblivious to the extent of their partner's workload. Decreased marital satisfaction. The ongoing imbalance in housework can erode feelings of love and connection, leading to decreased marital satisfaction. The constant feeling of being overwhelmed and underappreciated can create a wedge between partners, making it difficult to maintain intimacy and closeness. Emotional and physical exhaustion. Managing a household, even in retirement, can be physically and emotionally draining. Women who carry the majority of the housework burden may experience exhaustion, fatigue, and a diminished sense of well-being. Limited opportunities for leisure and personal pursuits. When one partner is constantly occupied with household chores, it leaves little time for personal pursuits, hobbies, and relaxation. This can lead to feelings of frustration and a sense of lost opportunity, particularly during retirement when individuals expect to have more free time. Addressing this imbalance requires open communication, a willingness to negotiate, and a commitment from both partners to share the workload equitably. It involves openly discussing expectations. Couples need to have honest conversations about their expectations regarding household chores in retirement. This includes discussing individual preferences, standards of cleanliness, and desired levels of involvement. Redistributing responsibilities. Based on these discussions, couples should work together to redistribute household chores in a way that feels fair and equitable to both partners. This may involve assigning specific tasks to each partner or creating a rotating schedule of responsibilities. Recognizing and appreciating contributions. It's crucial for both partners to acknowledge and appreciate each other's contributions to the household. Expressing gratitude for the work that is done can go a long way in fostering a sense of partnership and mutual respect. Being flexible and adaptable. Circumstances may change over time, requiring adjustments to the division of labor. Couples need to be flexible and adaptable, willing to renegotiate responsibilities as needed. Seeking professional help. If couples are struggling to resolve the issue on their own, seeking the guidance of a therapist or counselor may be beneficial. A therapist can help couples communicate more effectively and develop strategies for resolving conflict and achieving a more balanced division of labor. Creating a more equitable distribution of housework in retirement is not just about fairness, it's about creating a shared sense of responsibility and partnership. When both partners contribute to the maintenance of their home, it fosters a sense of teamwork and strengthens their connection. This, in turn, can lead to a more fulfilling and enjoyable retirement for both individuals. Emma's situation is not uncommon. Many women experience a period of significant personal growth in their later years, often fueled by the freedom and flexibility that retirement provides. This growth can manifest in a variety of ways, including 1. A desire for new experiences. Women may feel a yearning to explore new places, try new activities, and step outside their comfort zones. This might involve travel, taking up a new hobby, or pursuing a long-held dream. 2. A pursuit of education and learning. Retirement can provide the opportunity to pursue further education or explore intellectual interests. Women may enroll in courses, join book clubs, or engage in other forms of lifelong learning. 3. A focus on personal growth and self-discovery. With the demands of work and family behind them, women may have more time to focus on their own personal growth and self-discovery. This might involve exploring their spirituality, developing their creativity, or simply taking time for self-reflection. 4. A re-evaluation of priorities and values. Retirement can be a time for re-evaluating priorities and values. Women may find that their perspectives have shifted and that they are seeking different things from life and relationships. When one partner experiences significant personal growth while the other remains resistant to change, it can create a number of challenges. Feelings of disconnection and alienation. The growing divergence in interests and aspirations can lead to feelings of disconnection and alienation. One partner may feel like they are moving forward while the other is staying behind, creating a sense of distance and incompatibility. Conflict and resentment. The differing desires can lead to conflict and resentment. One partner may feel frustrated by the other's resistance to change, while the other may feel threatened or insecure by their partner's growth. A sense of being trapped. The partner who is seeking personal growth may feel trapped in a stagnant relationship, longing for more than their current partnership offers. They may feel like they are sacrificing their own fulfillment for the sake of maintaining the status quo. A questioning of the relationship. In some cases, the divergence in personal growth can lead to a questioning of the relationship itself. One or both partners may begin to wonder if they are still compatible and whether the relationship can meet their evolving needs. Navigating this challenge requires open and honest communication, mutual respect, and a willingness to compromise. It involves sharing aspirations and desires. Both partners need to be honest about their aspirations and desires for the future. This includes sharing their dreams, fears, and what they hope to achieve in this new phase of life. Respecting individual differences. It's important to respect each other's individual differences and recognize that personal growth is a unique and personal journey. One partner's desire for change should not be seen as a threat or a rejection of the other. Finding common ground. While it's important to respect individual differences, it's also important to find common ground and identify shared goals. This might involve finding activities that both partners can enjoy together, or finding ways to support each other's individual pursuits. Compromise and negotiation. Compromise and negotiation are essential for navigating differing desires. This might involve finding a balance between travel and staying home, or finding ways to support each other's individual interests while still maintaining a strong connection. Seeking professional guidance. If couples are struggling to navigate this challenge on their own, seeking the guidance of a therapist or counsellor can be beneficial. A therapist can help couples communicate more effectively, understand each other's perspectives, and develop strategies for navigating their differences. When couples can successfully navigate the challenges of differing personal growth, it can actually strengthen their relationship. By supporting each other's individual journeys and finding ways to grow together, couples can create a deeper and more fulfilling partnership that evolves over time. This requires a commitment to open communication, mutual respect, and a willingness to embrace change as a natural part of life and relationships. The fifth reason, loss of physical and emotional intimacy, the fading spark. Intimacy in a long-term relationship is a multifaceted concept that extends far beyond physical closeness. It encompasses a deep sense of connection, vulnerability, and mutual understanding. It's about feeling seen, valued, and desired by your partner, both physically and emotionally. Over time, however, the spark of intimacy can fade, leaving couples feeling disconnected and alone, even within the confines of their shared home. This decline in intimacy can be gradual and insidious, often going unnoticed until the emotional distance becomes significant. Consider Rachel, who, after years of marriage, felt increasingly invisible to her husband, Mark. While they still shared a life together, raising their children and maintaining their household, the emotional connection that had once defined their relationship had dwindled. Rachel felt like Mark no longer saw her, not truly. He seemed preoccupied with his own interests and concerns, rarely engaging with her on a deeper level. She longed for the days when they would talk for hours, sharing their thoughts, feelings, and dreams. Now their conversations were limited to superficial exchanges and logistical discussions. This lack of emotional connection led Rachel to withdraw, not from a lack of love for Mark, but from a need for self-preservation. She felt hurt and rejected by his seeming indifference, and she began to protect herself by distancing herself emotionally. She stopped sharing her vulnerabilities with him, fearing that her feelings would be dismissed or ignored. She retreated into herself, finding solace in her own company and focusing on her own interests. Rachel's experience is a common one. Many couples find that over time, the intimacy they once shared begins to fade. This decline can be attributed to a variety of factors. One, the demands of daily life. The stresses of work, family, and daily life can take a toll on intimacy. Couples may feel overwhelmed and exhausted, leaving little time or energy for nurturing their emotional connection. They may prioritize practical matters over emotional ones, gradually neglecting the intimacy that sustains their relationship. 2. Lack of communication. Meaningful communication is essential for maintaining intimacy. When couples stop sharing their thoughts, feelings, and experiences with each other, the emotional connection weakens. Superficial conversations about daily routines cannot replace the deep, vulnerable exchanges that foster intimacy. 3. Unresolved conflict. Unresolved conflicts can create a significant barrier to intimacy. When couples avoid addressing difficult issues or fail to resolve disagreements constructively, resentment and hurt feelings can linger, eroding trust and connection. 4. Changes in life stages. Life transitions, such as having children, career changes, or retirement, can impact intimacy. These changes can disrupt established patterns and create new challenges for couples to navigate. If these transitions are not handled with open communication and mutual support, they can lead to a decline in intimacy. 5. Physical changes. Physical changes associated with aging, such as hormonal shifts or changes in body image, can also affect intimacy. These changes can impact self-confidence and desire, requiring couples to adapt and explore new ways of connecting physically. 6. Emotional distance. Emotional distance can develop gradually over time. One or both partners may withdraw emotionally, creating a barrier to intimacy. This withdrawal may be a conscious or unconscious response to stress, conflict, or unmet needs. The consequences of a loss of intimacy can be profound. Feelings of loneliness and isolation. Even within a committed relationship, a lack of intimacy can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation. Partners may feel like they are living parallel lives, sharing the same space but not truly connecting. Decreased relationship satisfaction. Intimacy is a key ingredient in a satisfying relationship. When intimacy declines, relationship satisfaction often suffers. Couples may feel less connected, less fulfilled, and less happy in their relationship. Increased risk of infidelity. In some cases, a lack of intimacy can increase the risk of infidelity. Individuals may seek emotional or physical connection outside of their relationship if they feel it is lacking at home. Relationship breakdown. In severe cases, the loss of intimacy can contribute to the breakdown of the relationship. When couples feel disconnected and unable to rekindle the spark, they may decide to end the relationship. Rebuilding intimacy requires conscious effort, open communication, and a willingness from both partners to be vulnerable. It involves prioritizing connection. Making time for each other, even if it's just for a few minutes each day, is essential. Creating opportunities for connection, such as going for walks together, having date nights, or simply spending quiet time together, can help rekindle intimacy. Communicating openly and honestly, sharing your thoughts, feelings, and needs with your partner is crucial for building intimacy. Being vulnerable and honest about your emotions can create a deeper sense of connection and trust. Re-establishing physical intimacy, physical touch, even if it's not sexual, can be a powerful way to connect with your partner. Holding hands, cuddling, or giving each other massages can help rekindle physical intimacy. Seeking professional help. If couples are struggling to rebuild intimacy on their own, seeking the guidance of a therapist or counselor can be beneficial. A therapist can help couples identify the underlying issues contributing to the loss of intimacy and develop strategies for reconnecting. Rekindling intimacy is not always easy, but it is possible. It requires a commitment from both partners to prioritize their relationship, communicate openly and honestly, and be willing to be vulnerable with each other. The rewards of a strong and intimate relationship are immeasurable, leading to greater happiness, fulfillment, and a deeper sense of connection. The sixth reason, retirement, a double-edged sword, the unexpected challenges of togetherness. Retirement is often portrayed as the golden age, a time of relaxation, freedom, and shared experiences. While it certainly offers the potential for these joys, it can also be a double-edged sword, bringing unforeseen challenges that can strain even the strongest relationships. The sudden increase in time spent together can magnify underlying issues that were previously masked by busy schedules and separate routines. The shift from individual pursuits to constant companionship can be overwhelming for some couples, leading to tension and resentment. Consider Carol and Mike, who after decades of working and raising a family, eagerly anticipated their retirement. They envisioned lazy mornings, leisurely afternoons, and a chance to finally enjoy each other's company without the pressures of work. However, their retirement didn't unfold as they had planned. Mike, accustomed to a structured workday, struggled to find purpose and meaning in his newfound free time. He began to rely on Carol for companionship and direction, following her around the house and becoming involved in her activities. Carol, while initially happy to have Mike home, soon felt overwhelmed by his constant presence. She missed her alone time, her independent pursuits, and the space she had once had to nurture her own interests and friendships. Mike's well-intentioned desire to spend time with her inadvertently turned Carol into his constant companion, leaving her feeling suffocated and resentful. Carol and Mike's experience highlights a common challenge of retirement, the sudden and often dramatic increase in time spent together. While couples may initially relish this newfound togetherness, it can quickly become overwhelming if not managed carefully. Without individual hobbies, friendships, and outside interests, retirement can feel suffocating, blurring the lines between individual identity and coupledom. Several factors contribute to the challenges of retirement for couples. 1. Loss of structure and routine. Retirement disrupts established routines and daily structures. This can be particularly challenging for individuals who derive a sense of purpose and identity from their work. The lack of structure can lead to feelings of aimlessness, boredom, and even depression. 2. Increased time spent together. While couples may look forward to spending more time together, the reality of constant companionship can be overwhelming. The lack of personal space and individual pursuits can lead to tension and resentment. 3. Unmet expectations. Retirement often comes with a set of expectations, both for individuals and for couples. These expectations may not always align with reality, leading to disappointment and frustration. Couples may have different visions of what retirement will look like, and these differing visions can create conflict. 4. Shifting roles and responsibilities. Retirement can lead to shifts in roles and responsibilities within the relationship. These shifts can be challenging to navigate, particularly if they are not discussed openly and honestly. For example, one partner may assume responsibility for more household chores, while the other partner struggles to adjust to a less structured lifestyle. 5. Underlying relationship issues. Retirement can bring underlying relationship issues to the surface. When couples spend more time together, they may find that they have less to talk about, or that they have different interests and priorities. Previously masked by busy schedules, these differences can become more pronounced and lead to conflict. 6. Difficulty adjusting to change. Change, even positive change, can be stressful. Retirement is a significant life transition, and it requires adjustment and adaptation. Some individuals may find it more difficult to adjust to this change than others, leading to tension and conflict within the relationship. The consequences of these challenges can be significant. Increased conflict and arguments. The increased time spent together can lead to more frequent conflicts and arguments. Small irritations that were previously overlooked may become magnified, leading to resentment and tension. Decreased relationship satisfaction. The inability to adjust to retirement and the resulting conflict can lead to decreased relationship satisfaction. Couples may feel less connected, less happy, and less fulfilled in their relationship. Feelings of isolation and loneliness. Ironically, even though couples are spending more time together, they may feel more isolated and lonely. The lack of individual pursuits and meaningful connection can lead to feelings of disconnect and alienation. Strain on individual well-being. The stress and conflict associated with retirement adjustment can take a toll on individual well-being. Both partners may experience increased stress, anxiety, and even depression. Navigating the challenges of retirement requires proactive planning, open communication, and a willingness to adapt. It involves planning for retirement together. Couples should discuss their expectations and visions for retirement well in advance. This includes discussing their financial plans, their desired lifestyle, and their individual goals and aspirations. Maintaining individual interests and friendships. It's crucial for both partners to maintain their individual interests, hobbies, and friendships. This will help prevent feelings of suffocation and ensure that each partner has a sense of identity outside of the relationship. Creating new routines and structures. Establishing new routines and structures can help individuals adjust to the lack of a formal work schedule. This might involve setting aside time for hobbies, exercise, or volunteer work. Communicating openly and honestly. Open and honest communication is essential for navigating the challenges of retirement. Couples need to be willing to discuss their feelings, concerns, and needs with each other. Being flexible and adaptable. Retirement is a period of transition, and it's important to be flexible and adaptable. Things may not always go as planned, and couples need to be willing to adjust their expectations and plans as needed. Seeking professional guidance. If couples are struggling to adjust to retirement or are experiencing significant conflict, seeking the guidance of a therapist or counselor can be beneficial. A therapist can help couples communicate more effectively, identify underlying issues, and develop strategies for navigating this life transition. Retirement can be a wonderful chapter in a couple's life, but it requires careful planning, open communication, and a willingness to adapt. By addressing the potential challenges proactively, couples can create a retirement that is fulfilling, enjoyable, and strengthens their bond. The 7th reason, feeling unheard and unappreciated, the pain of invisibility. Feeling invisible within a marriage, the cornerstone of one's life and emotional support system, can be a profoundly painful experience. It chips away at self-worth, erodes intimacy, and leaves a gaping hole where connection and understanding should reside. For many women, particularly after years of serving as the family's emotional cornerstone, the feeling that their voices no longer matter can be devastating. The sense of being unheard and unappreciated can lead to emotional detachment, not out of malice or indifference, but as a form of self-preservation. Consider Sarah, who after decades of marriage found herself feeling increasingly unseen and unheard by her husband Mark. She had always been the one who listened, the one who offered support, the one who held the emotional space for her family. She had poured her heart and soul into nurturing her children, managing their household, and supporting Mark's career. But as the years passed, she began to feel like her own needs and feelings were consistently overlooked. She shared her thoughts and feelings with Mark, expressing her concerns and desires, but his responses were often dismissive, minimizing her emotions or simply brushing them aside. He would tell her she was being too sensitive, that she was overreacting, or that she was making a big deal out of nothing. Sarah's attempts to communicate her needs were met with indifference, leaving her feeling invalidated and insignificant. It wasn't that Mark intentionally sought to hurt her, he simply seemed oblivious to the impact of his words and actions. He was often preoccupied with his own concerns, failing to recognize the emotional weight Sarah carried. Over time, Sarah's repeated attempts to connect with Mark were met with a wall of indifference, leading her to emotionally detach. She stopped sharing her feelings with him, realizing that her vulnerability was met not with empathy, but with dismissal. She withdrew, not out of anger or spite, but as a way to protect herself from further hurt and disappointment. The pain of being unheard and unappreciated had become too much to bear. Sarah's experience is a common one. Many women find themselves in similar situations, feeling like their voices are no longer heard or valued by their partners. This can be particularly painful for women who have dedicated their lives to caring for others, only to feel overlooked and unappreciated in their own relationships. Several factors contribute to this feeling of being unheard and unappreciated. 1, lack of active listening. Truly listening to someone involves more than just hearing their words. It requires paying attention, making eye contact, and demonstrating genuine interest in what the other person is saying. When partners fail to actively listen, it can leave the other feeling unheard and unimportant. 2, dismissive responses. Minimizing someone's feelings, telling them they're overreacting, or changing the subject are all forms of dismissive behavior. These responses invalidate the other person's emotions and can leave them feeling hurt and rejected. 3, preoccupation and distraction. When partners are constantly preoccupied with their own thoughts and concerns, they may struggle to truly listen to their partners. Distractions, such as phones or other devices, can also interfere with meaningful communication and leave one partner feeling ignored. 4, assumptions and judgments. Making assumptions about what someone is thinking or feeling can prevent true understanding. Jumping to conclusions or judging someone's emotions can create a barrier to communication and leave the other person feeling misunderstood. 5, lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Without empathy, it can be difficult to truly connect with someone on an emotional level. A lack of empathy can leave partners feeling unheard, unseen and unappreciated. The consequences of feeling unheard and unappreciated can be devastating. Emotional detachment. As a form of self-preservation, individuals may begin to emotionally detach from their partners. They may stop sharing their feelings, withdraw from intimacy, and create an emotional distance to protect themselves from further hurt. Resentment and bitterness. The feeling of being consistently overlooked and undervalued can lead to resentment and bitterness. These negative emotions can erode feelings of love and affection, creating a toxic atmosphere within the relationship. Decreased self-esteem. Feeling unheard and unappreciated can take a toll on self-esteem. Individuals may begin to doubt their own worth and value, questioning whether their feelings and opinions matter. Loss of intimacy and connection. Intimacy requires vulnerability and open communication. When one partner feels unheard and unappreciated, it can be difficult to maintain intimacy and connection. The emotional distance creates a barrier to true closeness. Relationship breakdown. In severe cases, the ongoing feeling of being unheard and unappreciated can contribute to the breakdown of the relationship. When one or both partners feel consistently invalidated and unseen, it can be difficult to sustain a healthy and fulfilling partnership. Reversing this dynamic requires conscious effort, a willingness to listen, and a commitment to validation. It involves practicing active listening, making a conscious effort to truly listen to your partner, paying attention to both their words and their non-verbal cues. Put aside distractions, make eye contact, and show genuine interest in what they are saying. Validating emotions, acknowledging and validating your partner's feelings, even if you don't necessarily agree with them. Let them know that you hear them and that their emotions are important. Avoid dismissive responses and instead offer empathy and understanding. Asking open-ended questions. Encourage your partner to share their thoughts and feelings by asking open-ended questions. This shows that you are interested in what they have to say and that you value their perspective. Expressing appreciation. Regularly expressing appreciation for your partner and their contributions can go a long way in making them feel valued. Acknowledge their efforts, both big and small, and let them know how much you appreciate them. Seeking professional help. If couples are struggling to communicate effectively or are experiencing significant conflict, seeking the guidance of a therapist or counselor can be beneficial. A therapist can help couples identify communication patterns, develop healthier coping mechanisms, and rebuild trust and intimacy. Rebuilding trust and creating a safe space for open communication takes time and effort. It requires a commitment from both partners to be present, to listen with empathy, and to validate each other's feelings. The rewards of a relationship where both partners feel heard, seen, and appreciated are immeasurable, fostering deeper connection, stronger intimacy, and a more fulfilling partnership. The 8th reason, realizing life is short, the catalyst for change in long-term relationships. As individuals journey through life, the passage of time inevitably brings a shift in perspective. With age comes wisdom, but also a heightened awareness of mortality. Experiences like attending funerals, witnessing the decline of loved ones, and facing their own health challenges prompt a profound reevaluation of life's priorities. This introspection can lead women, in particular, to question their happiness, the quality of their relationships, and the overall direction of their lives. The realization that life is short can be a powerful catalyst for change, prompting a desire for more meaningful connections and a deeper sense of purpose. Consider Jessica, who, after attending a series of funerals for friends and family members, found herself reflecting deeply on her own life. She had been married to David for many years, and while their relationship was stable, it lacked the spark and intimacy she craved. She realized that she had been simply existing in her marriage, going through the motions without truly experiencing joy or fulfillment. The funerals served as a stark reminder of life's fleeting nature, prompting Jessica to question whether she was living her life to the fullest. She realized she wanted more than just existing. She wanted to thrive. This realization led her to emotionally withdraw from David, not out of anger or resentment, but out of a need to protect herself and create space for personal reflection and growth. Jessica's experience is a common one. As individuals age, they often experience a shift in perspective, recognizing the preciousness of time and the importance of living a life that is true to themselves. This realization can be particularly poignant for women, who may have spent years prioritizing the needs of others, sometimes at the expense of their own. The awareness of life's brevity can prompt a re-evaluation of priorities, leading to a desire for deeper connections, more meaningful experiences, and a greater sense of purpose. Several factors contribute to this shift in perspective. One, increased awareness of mortality. As individuals age, they are confronted with the reality of mortality more frequently. The loss of loved ones, health challenges, and simply the passage of time serve as reminders of life's finite nature. 2, reflection on life experiences. Older adults often have more time for reflection, allowing them to look back on their lives and assess their accomplishments, regrets, and unmet desires. This reflection can lead to a desire for change and a yearning for more fulfilling experiences. 3, shifting priorities. As individuals age, their priorities may shift. What was once important may no longer hold the same significance. They may prioritize relationships, personal growth, and experiences over material possessions or career advancement. 4, a sense of urgency. The awareness of limited time can create a sense of urgency, prompting individuals to pursue their passions and make the most of the time they have left. This sense of urgency can be a powerful motivator for change. This realization that life is short can prompt a variety of responses, including emotional withdrawal. As seen in Jessica's case, individuals may emotionally withdraw from their partners as they grapple with these realizations. This withdrawal is often not intended to be hurtful, but rather a necessary step for self-reflection and personal growth. A desire for change. The awareness of life's brevity can ignite a desire for change, whether it's a change in career, lifestyle, or relationships. Individuals may feel a need to pursue their passions, explore new interests, or make amends for past regrets. A reevaluation of relationships. Individuals may reevaluate their relationships, questioning whether they are truly fulfilling and supportive. This can lead to a desire for deeper connections and more meaningful interactions. A focus on personal growth. The awareness of limited time can prompt a renewed focus on personal growth and self-discovery. Individuals may seek out new learning experiences, explore their spirituality, or engage in activities that bring them joy and fulfillment. Practical advice and emotional reflections for husbands. Actively listen. Pay attention to your wife's words and emotions. Show genuine interest in what she has to say and validate her feelings. Express appreciation. Regularly express your appreciation for your wife and all that she does. Let her know how much you value her and your relationship. Engage in meaningful conversations. Move beyond superficial conversations and engage in deeper, more meaningful discussions. Share your thoughts, feelings, and dreams with each other. Support her personal growth. Encourage your wife to pursue her interests and passions. Support her efforts to grow and evolve as an individual. For wives, communicate needs clearly. Clearly communicate your needs and desires to your husband. Don't assume that he knows what you are thinking or feeling. Seek personal growth. Prioritize your own personal growth and self-discovery. Pursue your passions, explore new interests, and engage in activities that bring you joy. Express your feelings. Don't be afraid to express your feelings to your husband, even if they are difficult or uncomfortable. Open and honest communication is essential for building intimacy. For both, cultivate shared hobbies. Find activities that you both enjoy and pursue them together. Shared hobbies can create opportunities for connection and shared experiences. Respect individual interests. While it's important to have shared interests, it's also important to respect each other's individual pursuits. Allow each other space to pursue your own passions. Continuously choose each other. Make a conscious effort to continuously choose each other. Nurture your relationship, prioritize your connection, and reaffirm your commitment to each other. Recognize that change is a natural part of life and relationships. Be open to evolving and growing together, even if it means stepping outside of your comfort zones. The realization that life is short can be a powerful catalyst for positive change in long-term relationships. By embracing open communication, prioritizing personal growth, and continuously choosing each other, couples can create a deeper, more meaningful, and more fulfilling partnership that lasts a lifetime. It's about recognizing the preciousness of time and making the most of every moment together. Love doesn't vanish overnight. It erodes gradually, chipped away by neglected moments and unspoken words. The distance that grows between partners is often the result of accumulated small disconnects, not one singular event. But the good news is, it's never too late to rekindle that flame, to rebuild the bridge of intimacy and understanding. At Golden Years Balance, we firmly believe that understanding, presence, and respect are the cornerstones of enduring, loving relationships, especially as we navigate the complexities of later life. These qualities provide the foundation for navigating life's transitions together. Choose love, not just as a feeling, but as a conscious action. Choose growth, both individually and as a couple. And most importantly, choose each other again and again. Make the active decision to prioritize your connection and nurture your bond. Thank you for joining us at Golden Years Balance. We hope this discussion has provided valuable insights and inspiration. Remember, your relationships are among life's greatest treasures. Take care of yourself and take care of those precious bonds that enrich your life.